Hello everyone, I'm Lulu, the avatar of the Lumente project. What I've prepared for today will take about 15 minutes. These 15 minutes could be a very important time that might completely change the way you look at the digital finance market. Actually, these days a lot of people say this. Coin, blockchain, AI. It's too complicated and there are just too many of these projects. Aren't altcoins just scams? That's right. It is complicated. There are a lot of them. There are also a lot of scam companies. That's why many people get hurt or miss out on opportunities. But everyone, the faster the world changes, the simpler the real opportunities become. The only difference is who finds out what's certain first and gets ready for it. And today, the Lumit project I'm going to talk about is the first project from the Neural Trust Foundation, which is the closest to that certainty, rare in today's market for its legitimacy, preparation, safety, and scalability. I'm going to explain very simply and clearly where the global financial market is heading right now, why Lumit is at the center of that change, and why you absolutely shouldn't miss out. From now on, these next 15 minutes could change your entire investment perspective. Let's get started. We're living in an era of financial revolution. Just as humans have evolved, finance has also undergone evolution and many changes. In the past, it was natural to carry cash in your wallet. Then, with the advent of credit cards, our wallets got thinner, and as the internet developed and online banking emerged, we could handle all our financial activities without ever going to the bank. The advent of smartphones completely transformed finance. QR payments, easy money transfers, and mobile payments like Apple Pay and Samsung Pay have become part of everyday life, and now financial services based on digital assets that don't even require a bank account have emerged. This trend is never going to stop. Stablecoins, DeFi, STO, RWAs. The center of global finance is shifting from traditional finance to finance that incorporates AI and blockchain, and now it's an era where direction, not technology, determines the future. Although the market is still immature for the general public, it's common knowledge that major corporations and institutions around the world are already moving into crypto finance, and countries are preparing to bring it into the regulatory framework. Amid this massive trend, the Lumite project is creating a new financial ecosystem that the times demand. Over the past few years, we've watched countless coin projects appear and disappear in the market. Why did most of these numerous projects fail? The reason is simple. It's because structurally, it's difficult for individual investors to succeed. ICOs only generate profits in the early stages, and after listing, most of their prices collapse. Mining has become an investment that's hard for ordinary people to access, as equipment and electricity costs keep rising. Staking and DeFi may seem stable, but they come with major issues like hacking, lockup periods, and operational risks. Also, many people ask, why not just buy the coins directly? However, it's important for individual investors to reflect on whether they've ever consistently made profits through trading up to now. Most people end up selling due to break-even psychology when the market shakes, or they sell out of fear that prices will drop again after a small rise. In the end, individual investors keep repeating the pattern of prices dropping after they buy and rising after they sell. In other words, the current market structure is inefficient for generating significant profits, and investors are stuck in the habit of simply buying coins and waiting. This isn't the investor's fault, it's just the way the market naturally moves. Trading is not a system designed for individual investors to win. The reason most investors fail isn't because their judgment is wrong, but because the market structure itself is set up to disadvantage individuals. That's why instead of simply copying the traditional methods, we've completely broken down these 5 models and reassembled only the practical structures that actually benefit investors, creating a hybrid structure. Luminte's hybrid model is the first structure that gathers only the strengths of existing projects while completely eliminating their weaknesses. It offers early entry opportunities like an ICO, coins accumulate automatically like mining, there are holding rewards like staking, and the reward structure flexibly adjusts according to market conditions, just like DeFi. Also, Lumite nodes are not based on a buy and sell structure that fluctuates with price graphs, but rather on an accumulative structure where your assets grow over time. Market volatility may work against trading, but for node buyers, it actually becomes an opportunity for accumulation. All these elements combine and create a system where, instead of just buying coins and waiting, the coins themselves generate assets on their own. This is not just a new model, but one that can create a sustainable profit structure that the existing market could not provide. Lumentai is a project built around the Muriel Trust Foundation. It is not just a simple coin issuing company, but a foundation that is building a next-generation financial ecosystem by integrating AI and blockchain. This foundation brings together people with experience in developing foundational services in the US and Korea, expertise in automation system development, and hands-on skills in blockchain design. The difference from other projects is clear. Rather than being a project that shows off complicated technology, it aims to create an automated financial model that anyone can easily use. This very philosophy is the core background that gave birth to Lumentai. Lumentai is not a project that just started with a plan on paper. It's already making real moves in the market. After starting node sales on May 7th, it was listed on xt.com and LBank, and on November 13th, it even got listed on Gate.io, one of the top global exchanges. The listing on Gate.io is an important signal that the world has started to recognize Lumentai's structure. Now, Lumentai has become a project that global investors, not just Koreans, are paying attention to, and its worldwide expansion is truly getting underway. The difference between joining at this early stage and joining after it has expanded globally is a completely different level of opportunity. Lumentai knows fundamentally changed the paradigm of investing. You don't need any equipment, there's no electricity cost, and no setup required. Just by owning a node, coins are automatically generated. In other words, you're not buying coins, you're owning the structure that creates them. Because the reward rate is flexibly adjusted according to market conditions, you can accumulate quickly in a bull market and steadily even in a bear market, so your assets grow over time. This structure is a completely different world from trading, which is swayed by market volatility. Most coins have an inflationary structure where the amount issued increases over time, so it's only natural that their value decreases over time. Lumen is the complete opposite. Through various methods like burning transaction fees, burning ecosystem profits, and supply adjustment burns, the structure gradually reduces the coin supply. Scarcity is the most fundamental principle for increasing asset value. When the quantity decreases and demand rises, the value's bound to go up. The deflationary benefits of Lumen are given first and foremost to those who own nodes. Lumen has a special safeguard that you rarely see in other projects. It's called the balance fee system. Instead of the company taking a portion of the withdrawal fees, they're accumulated as protective assets for market stability and investor protection. These assets are used to prevent sharp price drops in the project, mitigate market shocks, and provide long-term protection for node holders. In other words, it's not just a simple reward system, but a structure that also includes a safety mechanism to protect investors. From its inception, Lumen was designed with the goal of building a foundational ecosystem. AI-based data operations, automation systems, and intelligent analytics are the fundamental competitive strengths of the Lumen ecosystem. On top of that, RWA, which is set to become a core global trend, will be integrated. Major investment banks and large corporations around the world have already entered the RWA market, and this market is expected to grow to hundreds of trillions in size. Lumen is preparing for both an AI-based present and an RWA-based future at the same time. Joining Lumen now is like getting in early on a massive growth curve. In the past, people called Bitcoin a scam too, but those who got in early made a lot of money. But now, Bitcoin is recognized as an asset, it's under legal regulation, and the chances of it going up 10-fold or 100-fold have gotten much smaller. Lumen still has that potential open right now. Right now, Lumen's just beginning its global market expansion. Because both the price and demand are still in the early stages, this is the time when you can make the biggest profits. The real big profits go to those who get involved before everyone is convinced, when it's not yet fully known. Right now is the absolute earliest stage. Those of you who hold Lumen nodes will stand at the center of this massive growth trend, leading both the current AI-based era and the future based on RWA. This is truly the moment of opportunity. Thank you for listening.